really hate capitalism, and especially at this stage of capitalism where we're at, where we're seeing, prices hiking, record profits. We're seeing shrinkflation, giving you less product for the same price. There's the full-on greedflation with the price gouging. Another way that they cut costs to increase their profits is, of course, cutting down people. People cost money, so the self-checkouts, the automations, all of these things are done to cut their costs and get more profits for shareholders. That is all that matters to them. There's another kind of late-stage capitalism piece that's a little more behind the scenes, and it's not so apparent, but it is happening, and I think it's one of the biggest dangers that we face, and that is the cutting of safety protocols. When a company is faced with not as good numbers as they would like to be showing to their shareholders to show how good they're doing, they find places to cut, and I've already just mentioned many of those places. Obviously, we've done away with all the employee perks and the parties and all that. Those have been cut for a few years now. But now we're also cutting safety protocols, the training that employees need, the extra inspections, the internal safety controls, all of these things that are typically done. It costs money to pay people or firms to do these safety measures. Those get cut because they don't want to pay for them. And the consequence of that isn't as obvious. Where that matters is train derailments. We've seen those. Overloading things. We'll start to see more recalls of products because there wasn't the proper testing done or spot checking. So we're going to get recalls because there's contamination, and all those type of things are happening because companies are trying to save money on safety protocols. And I do think that there has been a government effort to kind of cut that red tape so that corporations don't have to do a certain level of safety protocols, because that just is for, the populations, and everyone just cares about those shareholders getting more profit. If that means they have to cut safety measures in order to put more money in the shareholders' pockets, that is an easy decision for them. But there could be very massive repercussions for the rest of us and the planet, right? Pollution and, oil leaks and all these things happen when there aren't proper safety protocols, or, maybe they're supposed to replace certain things on a certain schedule and they push it out because it costs money, and they say, oh, we can just put that off, and then that thing fails, and then there's a huge environmental disaster, and all they have to do is pay a penalty, probably like less than what they would have had to implement the thing anyway, which helps their decision. That's something that I don't hear talked about enough, and I think it needs, people who are working in these corporations need to be whistleblowing and start being loud about the measures that are being cut. It's something I think about. Another thing that keeps me up at night, and I like to pass my words on to everyone else, of course. So just something to think about. What are your thoughts on that? And yeah, tell me other ways that you think that companies are cutting costs.